And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Realty. Martin Gramatica joining us in just a moment. Before we jump into that, I want to let you know about one of our hot listings. We got 1311 Gray Street in Gulfport. This is a hot listing, brand new listing from the Platinum MVP team, Keller Realty. This is in Pinellas County. You got a pool home, great opportunity, Gulfport, very popular area. 1311 Gray Street South, almost 1,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, renovated property. Also has it set up as a rental with a separate entrance, so you can turn this into a rental property if you'd like. 1311 Gray Street South in Gulfport, one of our hot real estate listings. You can see all of our 50 listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Somewhere sunny and 75. All right, we got Martin Gramatica back in studio. Welcome in, sir.
Thanks for having me, man. How you doing?
Doing well,
Good.
man. Blessed and highly favored, you know, that time of year. I can't believe it's already the holidays.
It's crazy, man. This year has just flown by.
It sure has.
Oh, man.
It's been a busy year for you, too, man. Named striker head coach. You got the lifeguard imaging stuff going on. And a lot of good stuff going on with your family, with the kickers and everything.
Oh, man, I'm staying busy. So pretty much we need the week to rest. That's what I tell my wife. Yeah. Our weekends start on Friday night, with football.
Yeah.
Then they also play soccer. My daughter plays flag. So we had about 8 games between the 3 kids this weekend. So we were all over the place.
Now we see what our parents were doing, right? Running around.
I know, man. So Mondays I'm beat. Monday's like my recovery day. Okay. So my week starts on Tuesday. I try to recover on Monday. But it's all good, though, man. Time flies.
It does.
So I want to enjoy my kids.
The busier you are, the more, and I love seeing the videos, too, with with your son, kicking that ball through the uprights, man. It just takes me back, brother.
Oh, yeah. No, as much as I personally would have wished he would have stayed with soccer, less stressful as a parent. Yeah. Because when he goes out there to kick, it's like everybody's enjoying and having fun, but I'm like, nah, man, this is not fun to watch. It's a lot harder to watch a kicker from the outside and actually do it.
Right.
For us. So watching my son, man, it's tough. But
yeah.
But now I have my younger one. Our punter got hurt, so he's a freshman, so he'll be punting this week as well. He's a holder as well, so they're both playing this week, so it'll be even more stressful.
That'll be fun, man.
Yeah, it'll be
the
good.
Recruiting starts so early. I'll never forget, like you being recruited by Jim Levitt, going to K-State, ultimately winning the Luke Rosa Award, and just on and on, all the credentials. But can you imagine being a kid today? I mean, you're getting recruited, 7th grade, 8th grade? They start recruiting you.
And it's crazy because my son's getting talked, like Kansas State, USF, Florida have reached out to him, but I haven't talked to anybody.
Yeah.
It's all through Twitter, and there's times where they can and can't talk to them, so I have no idea if anybody else. I mean, obviously I talk to my son, and he gets excited when he gets a text or a tweet from a coach, but they haven't communicated with us. I said, I don't want to talk to anybody until they give you an official scholarship, all right? So all this social media stuff back and forth, it doesn't mean anything until you get that scholarship. But it's crazy that, the kids communicate directly with the coaches these days.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing, too. And the videos going out early and, the different websites, whatever they're called. There's a lot of
I remember sending out about 100 VHS tapes,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know if anybody watched any of them, but I know I at least sent them out. So, yeah, it's a lot easier to get recruited now.
Yeah, exactly. I remember the same thing, like taking the VHS, writing, here's how much I bench, here's how much I squat, sending it out to a few teams. And
I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to put how much I bench or squat. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, well, different game.
My first day at the gym in Kansas State, the girls basketball team was squatting more than I was. So I'm like, man, I better get in the gym.
Well, you had that, like what they call that it's not street smart, but that street, game. You were out there kicking and running, and you could go for hours and hours, you and your brothers, man.
Well, back in the day, we didn't work out. For soccer now has become where players actually are in the gym and they're getting stronger and faster, but we just played. That was our exercise. That was our training. I don't remember ever seeing a gym before I got to college. I mean, I know we had weight room class, but I'd try to sneak out the back and go play soccer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, running around, different kind of workout, right? I mean, that's your fast twitch fibers and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But, if you just joined us, we're talking with Martin Gramatica here in studio. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. Now, Martin is also a rep for lifeguard imaging. What's lifeguard imaging all about, Martin?
Well, at Lifeguard Imaging, we do preventative scans for heart disease and cancer. And we're one of 5 facilities in the country that do it the way we do it. Because if you go to a hospital, they're not going to give you a full body scan. They're going to scan a certain region if you have a symptom. So if your chest and the doctor said, well, we need a chest scan or we need a liver scan, they'll scan that region, but they won't go from the we go from the chin down to the pelvis. And obviously we get the calcium score for the heart and the full heart scan as well. And we also, the mid region is where hundreds of cancers develop. So what we're looking is for those deadly diseases. We can see everything, but our main purpose is for patients to come in, and 99.9% of our patients come in without any symptoms. They just want to be proactive with their life and want to be preventative. So they come in to get the scan, and that's where literally we're saving 1 to 3 lives a day. And we see an average of 15 patients a day because until we look inside, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You could be healthy, you could feel 100%, you could look great, but until you look inside, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. How many times you hear that? You hear of a friend or even a celebrity, and it's like, wow, you hear the news. Oh, wow, they got the C word, and then you're like, wow, I never saw that coming. Right. Like it could happen to anybody.
Well, unfortunately, with the heart disease and cancer, when you have the symptoms, at times it's too late.
Right.
And what we tell our patients with heart disease, their artery can be 99% blocked. If we see it, you can survive it.
Right.
Now with cancer, at times if you find stage 4, it's too late. That's the sad part of it, finding it late.
Yeah.
But now if you find it early, you can treat it with good quality of life and survive it. So we've discovered cancer at the earliest stages, and sometimes we'll see shadows, and the patient goes to get more testing to make sure it's cancer or not cancer. But at the end of the day, we're finding something that's abnormal in your body.
Right.
And you hope that it's not cancer. But if it is, now catching it at the earliest, and that's why we have the legacy program. Our legacy program is where patients enroll is we scan, the first scan will be a baseline.
Yep.
So we know exactly what's going on inside a patient's body. From there, by scanning yearly, then if anything were to change in year 2 or 3, now we know, okay, it's different than year 1. So now we see the shadow. Now we have to do a deeper monitoring, and hopefully it's nothing. But if it is, now you caught it early.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of the programs that we have.
Yeah, that's peace of mind, for the family. I remember even back talking about high school football and stuff. I remember we had a kid that had something right here developed in his glands. 6 months later, he was gone.
Wow.
That fast,
It's scary because this can be prevented.
Right.
And like I said, we're one of 5 offices in the country, so we have it in our backyard. We're at Rocky Point near Bahama Breeze. Everybody knows where that is.
Yep.
It's easy to get to because I talked to people in Clearwater, Tampa, wherever. They're like, oh, man, that's easy.
Yep.
So it's by the airport. So there's nowhere in Tampa that you can say, oh, I got to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours. You can get to our office pretty quick, and nobody's doing this. And just being preventive, being proactive, and obviously for your listeners, we've been doing the promotion for the free heart scan.
Yes.
So it doesn't make sense not to use this promotion. Come in, get your free heart scan. Our patient advocates will meet with your listeners and explain the legacy program and our full body scans. But at the end of the day, if they want to enroll, great, because that definitely will be a life-saving scan, potentially a life-saving scan. And if they don't, that's fine. They get their free heart scan.
Yeah, reach out for the hotline. You can actually call directly now. Call their main line at 813-524-1010. You can call directly for that heart scan. It's a complimentary heart scan. What's the value on this heart scan?
That's a $600 scan, Brandon.
$600 value. The main phone number, 813-524-1010. And if you didn't catch that, you can call the hotline. A lot of people call our hotline for mortgage advice and other things as well. You can call and we'll put you in touch with Martin and his team. Frankie over there. You got the whole team doing a great job.
No, thank you, Frankie. Thank you, Brandon. No, when I met Frankie and Eric, that's why I was a patient first.
Yeah.
But the office is so warming, and so you come in, you don't feel like you're at a medical office, because we don't want everybody has a little bit of anxiety getting a scan, because you're going in without any knowledge. And if you have a family history, that doesn't mean you're going to have heart disease.
Right.
Or if you don't have family history, doesn't mean you're good to go. So anybody that comes through our office has a little bit of anxiety getting the scan, because now I'm going to find out something I didn't know, a day before.
Yeah.
And we make everybody feel comfortable. Stephanie does a phenomenal job. She's the one that scans everyone, making everyone feel comfortable. If you have issues with being claustrophobic, our scanner is a donut. So it's not like an MRI, closed MRI, that you're in there and now you can't look at anything. Here you're going through a donut, and you go, so you're there's no way. We've had people with severe claustrophobia say this was the easiest scan we've ever done.
It was easy.
Yeah, you did it yourself.
I did it. It's super easy. It's not close quarters at all. I mean, it's super easy. I even did the virtual colonoscopy, which I wasn't looking forward to that, but it ended up fine. It's less invasive. I mean, that's a cool feature that you have. Can you explain the difference too there?
Absolutely. Our virtual colonoscopy is much more thorough and much less invasive than the conventional colonoscopy. It starts with, first of all, you don't need anesthesia. So I hope you went back to work, because most people go back to work. You didn't get your fake letter, saying, or a note from the doctor, so I got to take the day off. You went back. You went back to
My
work.
boss won't let me. She won't let me take days
off.
Right.
You go home, it's probably harder, right?
Yeah.
You got more chores at home. But the point is, that's an advantage. There's no anesthesia, so if, so you're not being put under. The prep is minimal prep compared to the traditional colonoscopy, because now I've heard horror stories of the traditional, and that's what's kept me from getting a colonoscopy. I'm getting ready to get mine at work and just do it because I've never wanted to, because I didn't want to do the prep.
Right.
And then we're much thorough, because now we'll be able to see the inner and outer colon. So through the scanner, there's been cases where patients have had a clean colonoscopy and have passed away between the colonoscopies because their cancer was on the outer wall.
Right.
And it seeped in and died of colon cancer after having a clean colonoscopy.
Wow.
So we're going to see everything. And now if we find a polyp, you have to do the conventional to go get a biopsy, but now they know exactly where it is. So they're not going in there and searching and looking, so they'll know exactly where to go. They biopsy it, and it's a lot less dangerous than having to search all through the colon.
Yeah, absolutely. You've heard some of these stories too about it being poked, the outer wall, punctured the outer wall, and now you got a mess inside your body there.
You can pass away from it. This is the exam that's supposed to save your life, could actually kill you, because if they do puncture the wall, now you have, it's just not, you pass away from that.
Yeah. Exactly. We saw a lot of that happen this past couple of years with the vaccines and all that stuff too. A lot of adverse effects. But more with Martin Gramatica here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to take a quick break. I want to ask Martin to take us inside the locker room. We always do a little story time. Story time with Martin Gramatica here, Automatica Gramatica, on the Consumer Quarterback Show, as well as more information about Lifeguard Imaging right here, local company right here in Tampa Bay. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. Check out our book on Amazon now. It's on Amazon. It's also on Audible. We just finished up the Audible version, so you can download the audio book from Audible. Real excited, real proud about that. Takes a little while to record the book and everything, so it's available now on Audible. Download it, check it out, and we would greatly appreciate you for doing that. We got a hot listing here in Tampa Bay, 9031 122nd Avenue. This is a $3.9 million listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. It's a development opportunity, prime land for development at I-75 and Fowler Avenue and I-75. Great opportunity, close to USF. It's 9031 122nd Avenue in Tampa. One of our hot real estate listings. You can buy dirt, develop the land, and it's a great opportunity right here in beautiful Tampa Bay.
Buy dirt, find one you can't live without.
All right, we got Martin Gramatica in the house, and we're talking about Lifeguard Imaging and some of the offers that they have. And Martin, we always like to get a little inside scoop with your storied career in the NFL. And first of all, what's going on with the Bucs this year? A slow start to this year, man.
It is a slow start, but I feel like we have the players to turn it around. It's obviously Tom Brady going through the divorce, and it just came out publicly that did happen.
Yeah,
he's human, so. People are saying, "Oh, blaming Giselle or blaming this," but now it's proven that he's a human, and it doesn't matter if you're the greatest of all time at quarterback, which he is you're going to suffer from going through that, especially when you have young kids. I remember being at the game, and we're on the sideline with my kids there, and his kids came out to surprise him. He didn't know they were coming, so that breaks your heart. His little daughter waving at him when he didn't know he was coming. Now, this was before it was public, so you knew something was going on when Giselle said, obviously not at every game. Now the kids are surprising him there.
Yeah.
So that has to weigh on you, and it's proven that it has. But it's not all Tom's problem too either. I mean, he's played pretty decent. We just got to protect him, and we've got to play better
had
defense.
Some drops too. I mean, so a couple of those drops, like Mike Evans, stuff that he would never drop.
Yeah, but you can't. Mike's been that player that's been so consistent and such a fighter for this team. He loves the Bucs, loves the jersey. So one drop, you can't, if you blame him for that, that's going to happen. He's human as well. So
exactly.
With Mike Evans, I'll never question his work ethic or his willingness to win, because he does whatever it takes to win.
He's a fighter, man. He's always, anytime there's a scuffle too, Mike's coming in the screen.
Hey, that's what you want, man. He wants to protect his team, protect his quarterback.
Yeah.
He loves the Bucs. That's his team that drafted him, and he feels like this is his home. So I'll never say anything bad about Mike. He's a great guy too. So
absolutely.
That's what you want. And this is why he's not so popular in the NFL, because he's not that typical prima donna receiver. He's a good guy. He's never in the media. He's always doing good stuff. Yep. And unfortunately, that's not what sells these days. But he's definitely a Hall of Famer in my eyes.
I like it. And you also do the sports, the Spanish Bucs.
The Spanish broadcast, yes. Yeah, we do that for the local radio. So that's been a lot of fun, man. Because it's our 5th year doing it. The coolest part about this year, obviously, I work with the best play-by-play. Carlos is amazing. Carlos Borges, he's the best. He's so energetic. Has that soccer energy mentality and translates it to football. But now we added Santiago to do the sidelines. Yeah. So he's our sideline reporter. So that's pretty cool to work with Santiago now.
Yeah, Santiago's great too, man. And how's Bill doing?
He's good, man. Everybody's good. The family's all good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to hear it. All right, can you give us any kind of? I like to take everybody in the locker room or the sideline somewhere. Give us a little story time with Martin Gramatica.
Man, you got to ask me a question. I don't even know where to start.
No, we did. One time
we talked about the SAP story, so I don't want to say that one again.
The SAP story was pretty good. How about I really love men that act like men, and I'm not talking about the blow up, get in your face, cuss you out type of men. Like too many times idolized. I like men like Tony Dungy. That actually leave a legacy. That have that, what was one of his books was called Silent or Quiet Strength. Right. Tell me a little bit about something about Dungy, being in the locker room with him, or just how he left a legacy.
Well, with Tony Dungy, I don't know if I've ever met a person that talks the talk and walks the walk. Right. But he doesn't push it on anyone. He doesn't judge anybody. Right. Because a lot of times you feel like the people that are very religious or I don't know how to say it nicely, but hide behind the Bible. And I'm not saying Tony Dungy does, but some do. Right. With Tony Dungy, what you see is what you get. Right. But he doesn't judge you if you're not like him. Right. He wants to make everybody better. And he basically wanted all of us to be better men off the field than we were football players. Right. And genuinely wanted that. Yeah. So as a player, when you made a mistake, you felt worse than for any coach because you let him down. Yeah. He had so much trust in you, and he had so much care for his team. He never yelled, never cussed, never screamed at anyone, but you could see it in his face.
Never got up. He never, not once flipped out.
Never. I never saw it.
I wish I had that patience.
No, I say, look, I wish I could coach like that, but that's not me. I can't. Yeah. But the point is, you respect Tony Dungy so much that when you make a mistake, you feel so bad for him because he trusts you so much. Wow. So he's an amazing coach, and he built a great team here, but a great character team. We have John Lynch, Derek Brooks, Mike Allstar, Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp's one of the best, if not the best teammate I ever had.
Was Work done on there too?
Work done. Yeah, I played with Work done the first couple of years.
He's done over like 200 homes now.
He's amazing. Yeah. I just played in Derek Brooks' golf tournament a couple of weeks ago, and Work was down. So when we get together, it's like we never left. We're all come back, and just like it was yesterday that we saw each other. Played with Derek the other day, golf, and I'm not a golfer, but I've been invited to all these events now and trying to promote lifeguard. I'm playing more golf. Yeah. And he was telling a story about anytime Dungy would ask, hey, what's our range? And then Sapp would act like he was asking me what my range was. He was just coming back, 55, 60, he's got it. He was full of crap. He was just giving him a number. He's like, you just make sure you get to there, we'll kick it. So I don't remember Sapp ever coming to ask me what my range was. But he was volunteering the information to Coach Dungy right away. So.
That's funny.
But it's a great group of guys, man. Every time we see each other, we have a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome, man. Those teams, some of those teams that you're involved with over the years, it's like they kind of just stick with you. Like you said, you pick up after years of not seeing each other, and it's just like, yeah, that's one of my old buddies, man. That's my brother.
The friendships, forever.
That's
for sure.
Martin Gramatica here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, and Martin also works as an account executive executive or a marketing rep with a company here in town called Lifeguard Imaging right there at Rocky Point. Can help save lives. I mean, it literally is saving a life. What's the stats? You said one
to
per
three.
day, 1 to 3 per day.
We're saving 1 to 3 lives a day. And we see an average of 15 patients a day. And we're booked 3 weeks out now. I mean, because we're getting the word out. We're doing a lot more media, more marketing. So if you're the message that we're trying to send anyway, call now.
Yeah.
Because you never know. We have a particular case where a patient canceled the appointment twice, was literally on the books twice, had to cancel.
Yep.
Passed away of a heart attack.
Wow.
He would have come in. This patient would have come in. We would have seen a blockage. This person would be alive today.
Yeah.
So that's why the message I tell everyone is don't put it off. You just never know. I had a friend of mine. Yeah. I've talked to her on the show before. She had 95% blocked LAD, which is the widowmaker.
Wow.
And she had symptoms. She was being seen by a cardiologist, but the cardiologist says it's not your heart. You're walking 7 miles a day. You pass an EKG and a stress test. And those are great markers.
Yeah.
But they're not seen inside the heart.
Right.
And once we saw that, she went back. I said, look, this is my score. They had a heart cath. They had to put a stent right away. So 2 weeks later, had a stent put in.
Wow.
So don't put it off. And we're one of 5 offices in the country.
Wow.
And here in Tampa. So
locally.
Yes, come see us.
Yeah, what a great opportunity. All right, so reach out to their direct line. We got a line for you here. You can call them. Just mention the Quarterback Show, and you get the free scan, the complimentary scan. 813-582-5222. That's 813-582 5222 right here. And just mention that you heard Martin Gramatica on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com as well. You can submit an email there. So yeah, saving lives. You're coaching ball now. You got the storied career, and then it's a lot of fun being on the broadcast, I bet, too.
Oh yes, no, everything that I'm doing, I'm very thankful that I can do things that I love, and being lifeguard is one of them. Lifeguard is the most rewarding thing. I know, winning a Super Bowl is amazing.
Yep.
But to say I helped save one of my close friend's life,
right?
I never thought I would ever say that.
Yeah.
Because I was never in medicine. I never worked in the medical industry.
Right.
But to say, look, I have a really close friend that I've coached their kid for over 9 years.
Yep.
That her life was saved because of Lifeguard. That's unbelievable. So yeah, I love everything I'm doing these days.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, so people come in, they find it, you refer them to their cardiologist or back to their primary care, whoever it is, and then they say, okay, you've got to go get this done.
Well, you have information, and you're bringing information. It's like when I go see my orthopedic doctor.
Yep.
I go get the MRI first.
Yep.
Because I know they're going to send me to an X-ray that's probably not going to show anything.
Yep.
And then they're going to need to get an MRI. So I get my MRI. I say, look, here's my MRI. What do I need to get done?
Yeah.
This is basically the same thing. We're going to give our patients information that when they go to their doctor, whether it's cardiology or primary care doctor,
Yep.
they have all the information in front of them. And we could they'll have the report, but also we can either give them a flash drive with the images.
Yeah.
So if the cardiologist needs to see the images, we can provide those as well. So if they enroll in our program. So, yeah, so you have that information where you can skip the EKG, the stress test. You can go straight to the heart cath because now you're one step under the heart cath. So you did that CT scan without contrast.
Yeah.
Now they'll do basically the CT scan with contrast where they can perform the stent if needed. So
that's awesome.
Absolutely. It's a great way to go.
All right. Martin Gramatica, good luck on everything.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
LifeguardImaging.com. Check them out online, lifeguardimaging.com, and let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Hey, another great show. I want to thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in, and please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.